From the Epic app home screen, highlight the guide and press enter. This will bring you into the guide and begin the Epic video experience. Before we begin moving around the guide, we will take a look at the visual information presented by the guide. Here is a schematic of the guide with all of the important information labeled. Navigating the Epic Guide is simple and intuitive. Before we go into the more in-depth features, such as recording and restart TV, it is important to know how to quickly and effectively move around the guide. First off, we will start with basic navigation. In order to move around the guide, you can use the directional arrows in any direction. A single press of any directional arrow will move you one program at a time in that direction. For example, if I press the down arrow, I will move down in the guide by one program. If I press the right arrow, I will move one program in the future to the right. If I press the left arrow, I will move back in time to the left. It is important to note that navigating right moves you into the future in the guide, and the left into the past. For example, from the guide's home position, if I press the left arrow once, I highlight the channel. This lets me know that my next press of the left arrow will move me into the past in the guide, or to a show that has already aired and ended. This will be covered more in depth later for Restart TV and recording options. To move up and down in the guide more quickly, we can make use of the fast forward and rewind button. As you can see at the bottom of the guide, the rewind button is page up and the fast forward button is page down. This will move the guide up and down one block at a time, allowing you to more quickly move up and down in the guide to reach your favorite channels. Speaking of favorite channels, what if you know the number of your favorite channel and want to jump directly to that channel in the guide? Thanks to Epic's intuitive virtual remote feature, you can do that. Navigate in the past and future by day, and more. While on the guide screen, press the Options button. This will bring up the virtual remote. With the virtual remote, you have several functions. If you know the number and the channel you would like to navigate to, you can type in the channel's number and hit enter. This will take you to that channel in the guide immediately. Let's say you want to see what program is on your favorite channel tomorrow, and you don't want to individually push the arrow key multiple times to get there. Using the virtual remote, you can press the next day button and the guide will immediately jump to the same time the next day. You can do this up to 2 weeks out to view programs up to 2 weeks in the future in the guide. Likewise, to see what show was on yesterday, you can press the previous day button and the guide will jump in the past to the same time the day before. This will become an especially useful feature when we move on to the Restart TV functions. You can also page down and page up from the virtual remote. The search function, or the magnifying glass icon, is also a very useful virtual remote feature. Let's say you know the name of a channel but not the exact channel number. Instead of scrolling through the guide and looking for it, you can search the channel name by clicking the magnifying glass icon on the virtual remote and typing in the channel name on the keypad. This will take you right to that channel as well. Or, if you are in the mood to watch football, you can search football and it will list all the programs with football in the title or description and list them in the top left of the guide. To go back to the remote and exit the search results when listed on the top of the guide, press the back button on the Fire Stick remote. To exit the virtual remote, highlight the exit button on the virtual remote and press enter. Or you can simply wait for the remote to close by itself. The virtual remote has different functions when the guide is open than when a program is being watched full screen. The virtual remote is always brought up by pressing the Options button. When a program is highlighted in the guide, pressing the Enter or Select button will bring up the available options. Just like the home screen and recording section, pressing Enter on a movie will bring up slightly different options than pressing Enter on a TV show. Right now we have a TV show highlighted, and the options are Watch Now. This starts the program selected and you can begin watching the program full screen. Create Series Recording. This will bring up options to record all episodes of the show. We will cover these options more in depth in the Recording and Restart TV section of the guide. This will not appear when pressing Enter on a movie, as a movie does not have multiple episodes. Record this program. This will record the single episode of the show you have selected. Restart this program. This is a Restart TV function and will begin the show from the beginning. Search. This is the same function as the virtual remote search. More info. This shows more information on the currently selected program. Since both the Enter button and the virtual remote bring up different options when they are on the guide than when a program is being viewed, let's take a look at the options that come up when a program is being viewed full screen for both of these navigation tools. Pressing the Select button on Watch Now will begin the program full screen. When you select Watch Now and the program begins, you can see that an information bar briefly appears at the bottom of the screen. It has important info such as program title, channel name and number, video quality, closed captions, current time, program up next on that channel, and a timeline display bar showing how far into the program's time slot live TV currently is. This display will change if you rewind or pause the program, which we will get into later on in the guide. Now that the information bar has disappeared, we can bring up the virtual remote and see that our menu options have changed. Because we are no longer in the guide, we no longer have the previous day and next day options. Instead, we have the number pad, enter, exit, and last channel. The last channel button is extremely useful and quickly switches to the last channel you were previously viewing. Hitting the Enter or Select button will bring up the following options. Closed captions. Pressing this will turn on subtitles, a very useful tool for people who are hard of hearing. Record this program. This will bring up options to record the program you are currently watching. Create Series Recording. This brings up options to record every episode of the program you are currently watching. More info. This will bring up more information on the program you are watching, such as episode number and original air date. Restart TV. This will begin the program from the beginning. Pressing Select while watching a movie will bring up the same options, with the exception of the series recording option, since a movie does not have multiple episodes. If you are watching a TV program and need to take a break, the Epic Apps Trick Play feature allows you to pause live TV by pressing the Play/Pause button on your Fire Stick remote. You can pause or rewind live TV for up to 15 minutes. When you pause a TV program, you are building up time. If you pause a show for 15 minutes, you can then fast forward for 15 minutes to get back to the state of live TV or the program's normally scheduled airtime. In addition to pausing TV, you can also rewind. For example, if you walk into the room a little too late after doing something over a commercial break and you miss some of your favorite show, you can hit the rewind button on the Fire Stick remote and rewind the show to view the parts you missed. When you rewind, you are also building up time. You can then continue watching your show until the next commercial break, and then fast forward through the commercials until you have used your backup time and are back to your program's original air schedule, also known as live TV.
$6, making BFFs bacon friends.
Only rewind or pause. You can only fast forward
time that I could use to make a positive ID.
6 ballistic impact marks right where the victim's head was.
Press the fast forward button on the Fire Stick remote. Fast forwarding will automatically stop when you reach live TV. When you fast forward, you can press the fast forward button again to increase the fast forward speed up to 3 times. You can do the same when rewinding. To stop fast forwarding or rewinding, hit the play pause button on the Fire Stick remote. When you pause or rewind a show, the timeline will appear in the information bar at the bottom of the screen. Here is a schematic of the timeline bar and the information it displays. The timeline bar shows the program's original air date. This is the time that the program was originally scheduled to begin. The white circle on the timeline bar indicates where you are in relation to live TV. Live TV is indicated by the end of the blue line. This end of the blue line is where you would be if you never paused or rewinded the show. It is also where live TV currently is in the program's originally scheduled airtime. The space between the white marker indicating where you are in relation to live TV and the end of the blue line, which indicates where live TV is in the original air schedule, is how much time you have built up by rewinding or pausing the program. You can only fast forward the time indicated by the space between these 2 points. Live TV will automatically stop fast forwarding as you have no more built up time. Underneath the white circle shows the point in time you currently are in the program and the video status. If we were fast forwarding the program, the pause symbol would be a fast forwarding symbol. The timeline is also divided into 4 even segments to easily tell at a glance roughly where you are in a program's timeline. Finally, it shows the program's originally scheduled end time, or when the program would end if it had not been paused or rewinded. What if you missed more than 15 minutes of your favorite show? What if you missed it by a day? Or what if you want to record all of your favorite shows so you never miss an episode? Thanks to the Epic App's industry-leading Restart TV features and revolutionary cloud DVR technology, you'll never have to again. Let's move on to the Recording and Restart TV section of the guide.